Wechat is huge in China. It's their one-stop shop answer to social media, where folks can literally do it all without leaving the app or the watchful gaze of Big Brother, because that's how the Chinese do it. You can shop, e-hail, make reservations, order takeout, bank, use it as a dating site, play video games, do the highly censored Chinese Facebook, Twitter, Yelp thing, go to town with QR codes. It all converges in Wechat, and in their own words, Wechat dominates almost every facet of a person's daily online existence in China. With over 1.2 billion monthly active users, Wechat is now an extension of the government's massive surveillance machine. Everything said or done can and will definitely be used against you by the totalitarian regime, and they will take advantage of any opportunity to pound the citizen back into submission. Text messages are censored in real time, all calls and location data are monitored and tracked, along with everything else the Chinese netizen types, says, or does while plugged into the app. And just realize this ultra-intrusive brand of unrestrained surveillance also applies to TikTok. The one-party Marxist dictatorship cannot exist without the oppressive police state, which is exactly what Prof. Richard Wolff with 2 F's from Democracy Now! Wants for you, America.
Meanwhile, pandemic justified weird schedules, good for the company, not for the workers. And then the inflation.
Democracy at work, because democracy is their thing. A 501c3 Marxist organization that runs on the slogan, "We can do better than capitalism." But they don't tell you that in exchange for all the perks that come with an egalitarian socialist state, you'll have to give up all power, control, and self-determination to a one-party, unchecked totalitarian dictatorship. They don't talk about how in communism, your worth is solely defined by the level of your love for communism. And we know they're being deceptive because what they're selling is nonsense. This world of mob-owned co-op style businesses where every decision is met with a spirited debate and a democratic vote. A new egalitarian way of doing business enforced by an all-powerful totalitarian government just there to provide everyone a middle-class existence for life. It could never happen. It will never happen. It would not work. China is anti-everything. Anti-freedom, anti-you having money, and anti-God. Many of us wish the world could be chill and not evil, but that is not what we're dealing with. The CCP has banned the word Christ on Wechat, and they are busy rewriting the Bible, and have already made it ridiculous, evil, and completely invalid. The United Nations came out recently urging the public to stop the spread of conspiracy theories. They're claiming that events are, quote, not secretly manipulated behind the scenes by powerful forces with negative intent, and are directing people who encounter anyone suggesting there is a global elite conspiring to, quote, consolidate power and dictate international events. They must be stopped. So let's talk about some of them theories. Things are not going swell or sweet or right in this world. Murder, death, kill is around every corner, and now the communists, and in the vein of Paul Revere, are coming. The commies are coming. It's the next phase of their plan. So William Guy Carr, Satan, Prince of This World, Chapter 3 on Luciferianism, page 30, quote, "The high priests of the Luciferian creed know they cannot usurp world power before the United States is ruined as the last remaining world power. So those who direct the WRM, or the World Revolutionary Movement, at the very top are arranging matters so the United States will, as Lenin stated, fall into our hands like an overripe fruit. This is how events taking place today indicate the subjugation of the USA is planned. Pike's plan requires that the final social cataclysm between the masses controlled by atheist communism and those who profess Christianity be fought on a national as well as international scale. That is the reason and the only reason that communism is being tolerated while being kept under restraint in the remaining so-called free nations of the world. I've served in the higher levels of government and in the naval forces in positions that enabled me to realize that communism in Canada and in the United States is tolerated and is being controlled and contained so its evil, destructive force can be used on the national as well as international level when the final social cataclysm is provoked by those who direct the WRM at the top.
Basically, God told me that we're all born in this darkness, this like sea of darkness, and every single person is in their own little dark pit of sin within this sea of darkness. Everyone's tormented in these pits because of sin. He said that, the only way that people can climb out is with his help. And of course, Christ was the way for us to get out. But also, we need to follow Christ in such a way in order to get out. And he also told me that this pit is really, really our own doing. And it's a really miserable place. And we are devoid of God's blessing. We're devoid of joy and love and understanding and knowledge and wisdom. And we're just basically devoid of everything good in this pit. So Satan and the demons crawl around the darkness like with these little neon glowing false lights, and they kind of tempt us to distract ourselves from this pit. Or they even go so far as to convince us that we're not even in a pit at all. And we create these illusions with our minds of power and control. And we try to, distract ourselves with worldly pleasures, or, just keeping ourselves busy, and with the world. And this is the way that the demons feed off of our ignorance, and they feed off of our lack of courage to really seek the truth of what a pit we're really in and how to get out.